I've been taught that, when you do something, do it properly and you finish what you start. So that's definitely is a gift from my family to me.
Welcome to Hack Circus. This week we meet Valentina Fois. Valentina is an Italian, as you'll soon work out from her amazing accent, and I've known her for a few years because she's involved in she used to be involved in the world of art and technology, and she's still quite involved with it and very interested in it, as we discuss in this episode. But she's recently opened a cafe. Valentina is one of those really inspiring people. Weirdly, she got in touch with me because she was looking for a mentor, I suppose, in the art technology world, a few years ago now, actually. And as soon as we met up, it became very clear to me that she was incredibly accomplished and really didn't need me as a mentor, and if anything, it was more the other way round. Valentina has a history of tackling to the ground these enormous, ambitious projects and making a success of them. And I was delighted and impressed and surprised when I found out recently that she's opened a cafe. But it started when she was in her early 20s and opened an art gallery in London as well. Having, not grown up in this country and never run an art gallery before, having no help and no family money supporting her. And she's just an amazing person. She has huge amounts of energy and positivity and a really interesting way of looking at the world. So I think you're going to love this one. It's the Christmas episode, and I thought it would suit the festive season because a lot of it's about food and family and things that we enjoy. I hope that you have a lovely time, whatever you're doing over the season. I just think it's so brilliant that you're doing a cafe. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to do, or sort of think about every couple of years. I go, I could do a cafe.
I think it's everyone's dream. Like whenever I speak with someone, they're like, I always wanted to open a cafe too, Yeah. So it turns out that everyone wants to open a cafe. I love it. I think it's the same of everyone wants to be a writer. Right. It's one of those things that you got in the back of your mind, and you're like, I should write that novel one day, So I think it's one of those. It's insane. I'm very excited, but it's also very scary, and there's a lot to learn, and it feels like a roller coaster.
How did that come about then? Your cafe, was it something that you always dreamed about doing?
Well, I think it all started with being like, you see, after school when I was a kid, I would go and spend lots of time with my grandmother, and she was a big cook. So, I would always hanging around, and she would make beautiful pasta and ravioli and, homemade pasta and sauce and all those things. So from the very early age, I kind of developed this interest in food. And for me, food is, it's like I associate food to love. Whenever I think about food, it reminds me immediately of my grandma, and makes me think about people sitting at the same table, chatting, and sharing. So, and that's why I love food, basically, I think. Not so much because of the taste. I mean, that is great too, but, good food is great. But it's more the feeling. Give me a sense of comfort, and it makes me think, it rise up all those memories, and that's why I love food, really. But I never ever thought, that I was actually going to open a cafe. I always had this idea, a bit of a dream, but I never thought that I was actually going to do it. And what happened is that I was working really hard, and at some point my father passed away last year, so it was a very, very tough time for me, for the whole family. But it's a small family, just my mother and I. I'm the only child, so it's been rough. But at the same time, if I want to see something something good out of it, well, there's nothing good out of it, but if I want to see a positive side, it gave me such a slap in the face, such a shake, that made me reconsider everything. And since then, I just say to myself, I only have one life, and I want to do something that I truly love, that I'm really passionate about, something that, something that gave me satisfaction and makes me happy. And that's when I decided to open the cafe. And because I missed speaking to people and chatting and making things with my hands. I was working really hard in marketing over the past few years, I had lovely jobs, lovely position. I worked on some amazing projects, but it was always very frantic, and it was always like a run against the time, and it felt very stressful. And I missed actually to sit down and have proper chat with people, like meaningful chat, not just talking about job or say each other how stressed we are about our London lives. So since I opened, I'm getting all of this, and I think I'm the happiest I've been, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, that's so great. So how long? When did you open? You had I remember you messaged me, and everything was quite stressful just as you were about to open, I think.
Yeah, it was very stressful because of a few reasons. Well, first of all, is I had a gallery, so I did run a business before, and I used to run other people's business, but this is a completely new venture. It's nothing I did before. So it's stressful because I am still learning, and I had to learn lots of things very quickly. And also you need to do lots of, there is lots of papers and bureaucracy, estate agent, contract and things. So that took lots of time, and it was quite stressful. And then, of course, you open, and in my case, I started with a very, very low budget, which means that you, again, need to do everything. I can't have the luxury to be like, okay, I'm going to employ 4 people, and I'm just going to show up 2 hours per day and do my things and then go home. It's like I'm constantly there the whole time, and when I'm not there, I am running errands or trying new recipe, looking for new things that I can do at the cafe. So it's exhausting, very, very exhausting, but it's worth because it's very. I find a joy in doing it, so I don't mind it so much.
Yeah, and you've only just started as well, and I feel like it's the sort of thing where you will get into a really good rhythm of it, and you'll work it out as time goes on. It'll get much more straightforward, because you'll have seen all these things before, and you'll know what to do.
I think so. Also, it's like. You do need the time to get to know your customer, understand what they want, because you might have an idea and be like, oh, this is going to be amazing, I'm going to do this, and then no one's like that, Like we do something called super cheesy toasties, which basically are cheese toast, but they're full of cheese, basically, like yummy. And I do one with mozzarella and rosemary potatoes. And when I put it on the menu, people kept saying to me like, "Oh, this is not gonna go because who wants to have bread and potato at the same time?" And I was like, "Okay, of course I hear when people give me advice and give me feedback, but at the same time you need to have the guts also to go ahead and with your own judgment." And I left it that on the menu because I thought I'm gonna give it a go, see if people like it. If not, I remove it. and it's one of my bestseller. Like people absolutely love it, you know. So that's nice when it happen. And of course there are other things that didn't work very well, and I removed them. But so far we getting very good feedback.
Oh, brilliant! So do you have a chef, or are you doing a lot of the cooking yourself?
No, I'm doing everything. The nice things about Lelis is that everything is homemade on site, and I make everything myself. Occasionally we got some pastries, and occasionally some cakes and the bread. But like I would say, 90% is made there on site.
Wow.
So it's a huge amount of work.
Oh, you must be exhausted. I can't even imagine.
I am. I am. It's a huge amount of work.
This is the thing that I love about you, though. You're always so inspiring to me, because you do just go, I want, I don't know what this thing that I know I want to do it. I don't know why, but I know I want to do it, and I don't know what it's going to involve. But I'm pretty sure that I can do it all.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I'm full house, when I go. I like English people. I go to town. I think what you would say, everything is made at Lelis, and it's very tiring. But that's the whole point. What I wanted was having a big kitchen where people come and eat from my kitchen. Like, imagine Lelis like you come there and it feels like it's at home, and it feels like you sit down at the table and you see me cooking, and I could be your friend.
Yes.
You are at my house, you're sitting in my kitchen, maybe you enjoy a nice coffee, you watch me cooking, and you have that feeling of intimacy, and I think it's a very cozy, intimate place. I would describe it like that. And then you come, that it's fresh, and it can't be bad, when all those things melt together, like the love, the quality, and the freshness, and then that's why I think is proving successful so far. There was a gap there. You see, I can see, because people come at the cafe and they are genuinely excited and surprised that they got choices. It's not anymore like a sandwich and a toast. It's like, okay, I got gluten-free stuff, I got dairy-free option, I got vegan option, lots of salad, lots of cooked things, and of course like cakes. And now I think that's exactly what people was looking for in the area. It's called Lelis, and is in Clapton, is 50 Lower Clapton Road in Hackney, and it's a very nice. It's a nice little space. It's not a massive space. As I said, it feels like you are in someone's kitchen. In that case, in my kitchen, basically. That's where you are.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I love it. I'm definitely going to come next time I'm in the area.
I can't wait to show you around, and, to show you the food. I mean, make you taste the food as well.
It's just so inspiring to me, because like you say, it's something that everybody goes, one day I'll open a cafe, or one day I'll open a restaurant, and I feel like if anyone's going to make a go of it, it's you, because you're not only are you Italian and probably a great cook, but you're also incredibly entrepreneurial. Like you have a history of taking on impossible seeming projects and making a go of it, don't you? So I think it's going to be a real success.
Thank you. It's like I love the way you're talking about me. It makes me feel really good. I wish you could call me every day.
We'll definitely, because I feel the same about you. Like, I feel so inspired by when I hear about your news. It's always so like, yes, let's just all go for it and do the things that we want to in life. But you're saying about your personal loss, I suppose, spurring you on to do this, and
yes,
and I think I can see why that's kind of changed your direction. But I feel like you already had that, you already had that awareness in you that has made you be like you are now. You've taken on so many things over the years, just because you've had that intuition that you have to do it, and you have to do it yourself, which I think is really cool. Were your parents sort of entrepreneurial, and did they just take things on and take on big challenges? Where do you think you got this from?
I have no idea, to be honest. If I had to be honest with you, I mean, I can see lots of things. I can see beyond my mother, beyond my father, and some of their friends or my grandmother in me. But this side, this kind of business side, I'm not really sure, because my dad was freelance, and I was very ambitious. But I also was much more cautious, if you want. So he would not have gone and be like, okay, I'm going to do this today, He would have thought about it 100 times. My mother is a little bit more like, okay, this sounds good, let's do it. But again, even her, I would not imagine her just to go nuts one day and say to me, oh, I'm opening a farm shop now or something, So I'm not really sure where I took this from. I think I always been very, I think it's a mix of being curious, a bit of an explorer. I always wanted to explore new things and being curious about learning new skills. But I think that's something that my family absolutely gave me, which is an amazing gift. I always been one of those that when they start something, they really, really put all the energy into that, and they want to do it right, and they want to do it good, because I've been taught that when you do something, do it properly, and you finish what you start. So that's definitely is a gift from my family to me, and you need this, because it's easy to open something, but is the hard bits is when you start up and running, and and you need to make it work.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's that tenacity, isn't it? Holding on and keeping going with things even when they get difficult. Like you say, there's that first bit of excitement is the easiest bit, isn't it? To go,
yeah, exactly.
Right, I'm just going to open whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we've been I must say, we've been absolutely overwhelmed with love by the community surrounding Lelis, but we already have our loyal clients coming back every day. But I understand that it might not always be like that, and I'm sure there are going to be times where I'm going to feel frustrated, times where I'm going to feel like, oh, why did I do this? But those are the time where you need to be strong, and you need to stick through, and even work harder.
I think when I first met you, you had an online gallery, but it had been a real gallery. How did you come to just open a gallery? Because to me, this seems absolutely extraordinary that you just went, I'm going to have an art gallery, and just kind of bought one and made it happen, like on your own, more or less. It's amazing.
I sound a little bit like a nutter, which is this crazy person. Well, back then I was living in Rome. Okay, I think we need to do a step back. So in 2003 or 4, I moved to London for about 10 months, and it was the first time that I was living home and my parents, and going to the big world and live on my own. That was an amazing experience, because it really made me grow up, and when I got back to, and I loved London, because it was so full of options and possibilities. It just felt like that everything could have happened then. So I got back to Italy, and I took a degree, and I graduated as a fashion designer. And I always had this passion for contemporary art, and I wanted to do a few courses back in Italy, but it was unreasonably priced, so I could not afford that really. So I graduated, started working in fashion, and understood that it wasn't for me. I like fashion, I like buying clothes and stay on top of trends, but I did it. That was not the job I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I quit my job. I rent my apartment and I moved back to London because I thought I loved it. I loved it once. It's full of opportunity that maybe I can just go and give it a go and work in the arts. And I there was one of those guides, I don't know if they're still doing it, but there was a guide where you could see an index of all the London galleries, all of them, like 200, 300, whatever they are. And I start emailing them, each of them, asking them if I could go and do a free internship. Because I thought I need to start from somewhere, I need to learn. I might not even like it. Who knows? Eventually, 2 galleries got back to me. My English was really poor as well, which didn't help me. 2 galleries got back to me. One was a commercial gallery, and another one was an artist-led space. And so I got the best of both worlds because I got to learn a little bit about, the commercial side of things, and I got to learn about the artist perspective. So I was working really hard and then move up slowly, little by little. So it's been an intern, then start getting a salary, then being the director assistant, and then I met an amazing collector, and he had a space in where we opened the gallery. In the end, he had a free space that he wasn't using it, and he said to me, "Look, I got this space. I'm not sure how long it's going to be empty for, because I might, we might use it for something else in the future. But as you can have it if you want it." For a very low fee. You can have it. It'd be lovely to have a gallery there. I think it was perfect for me to open a gallery there because the space was a very tall glass building, and having all open space. So having an open space with all those windows and work of art inside, it just looked really stunning. So I think it's kind of like improved the value of the building in a way, and like that, it didn't have an empty space. So it was a win-to-win situation for both of us. And I told him, of course. I didn't think it twice, not a second, and a little jump into it, and I opened a gallery, which was ridiculous because that was the first business I ever had. I didn't have any idea on nothing, like absolutely nothing. And on top of that, I was very young as well. So I think I just turned 26, but then I was 25 or 26. And I didn't have any money either, so it was like, it's crazy. I'm puzzled when I think about it, that I actually make it, and had it for nearly 3 years.
Wow.
So you
were applying for funding and going through.
I did all sorts of things, from working at the gallery half day and then having 3 jobs at the same time. It was mental, and I love it because people I think always thought that I was rich or something, because I was young at this big gallery, and it's like, she's Italian, bah, she's loud, and no. No, I just been a very hard worker, I would say.
And I think not just hard working, because you can be hard working and never move, if you see what I mean. You can just kind of be running on the spot, but you've always taken initiative. I think you've always sort of gone, well, I'm going to try and, like you say, being excited about learning new skills and sort of deciding that you're going to take responsibility and say, well, I'm going to take these jobs and I'm going to see how far I can get with them, and seeing it all as a challenge, really.
Yeah, as I say to you, like a bit early, it's like I've always been like that. Like when I do something, I want to do it properly. and that's why I think he helps me to push and challenge myself as well, because you constantly are challenging yourself with whatever you do. You don't need to open a cafe. It could be something really small, like deciding that you're gonna go running every day, and maybe you hate running, but I think it's good always to give targets to yourself, challenge yourself.
So you did La Scatola, which is that an Italian word that you introduced?
It means the box.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, because
am I saying that right? Like La Scatola.
Yeah, La Scatola.
La Scatola.
Yeah. I like the idea of a box, because I always thought that you get into the gallery, you don't know what you're gonna find inside.
Yes,
it's almost like a box full of surprises. That was the idea behind the name.
It sounds much more romantic in Italian than English as well. The box.
Yeah,
the
box.
La Scatola.
La Scatola.
Do you think that do you like to be in charge of things? Is that something that you have? Because I think that's something I have, that I can work for someone else for a while, and then I kind of think, this is okay, but I wish I was the boss.
Yeah, I like to have my own way. Yeah, definitely. I like to be in charge. I don't mind. I think I would like to think that I can work well for other people, because I don't mind having people above me tell me what to do. Especially when I can learn from them, and maybe they have much more experience than myself. I'm okay with that. But as you said, after a while I get frustrated, because I like to take the lead, basically, and do it my way. But you see, with Lelis, I'm also... That's something I had to learn, though. It didn't come natural. I like to think that I'm really good at letting things go. Like today, I'm off. This is my first day off in probably kind of like 3 weeks. And I haven't called my staff once. I'm not worried at all about them being there on their own. And I think that's very important as well, because it's good being the boss, but you also need to let other people be in charge and having tasks and duty. Otherwise, you get frustrated, they get frustrated, and nothing gets done.
Yeah, that's something that I guess you learn with time as well.
Oh yes, it didn't come natural. When with La Scatola, I was obsessed with that. I wanted to do everything, and that led me to get very tired, to exhausted. I also had a bad impact on my relationship, because I was so obsessed with the work that I didn't value spending time doing other things rather than work, and so I didn't see my friends much back then, and you start missing out on the things that really matter. So I really had to learn, and now I don't feel I'm that person anymore, and I feel much more comfortable and confident in trusting and relying in the people around me that work with me at Lelis, which is a nice feeling, to be able to have a day off, not thinking, gosh, what they're doing, is everything okay? I haven't heard from them. Is the place burning down? It's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure if it was, they would call you. And
yeah, exactly. The place is burning, Valentina.
Do you have time off now? You said this is your first day off in 3 weeks, and I'm guessing at the moment it's just going to be like that for a while. But
yeah.
Do you carve out time for yourself to do other things, or is it like, I feel like people always say to me, what do you do in your free time? And I sort of go, well, I sort of think about what I'm going to do next. You know, I don't I don't really just go, oh, thank goodness I can just go and sit on a beach for a week and not think about anything. It's exciting for me to think about making things. And you know.
I can see you like being a list maker. I can see you with a long list of things you want to do. I love lists too. I'm not having much free time at the minute to do anything, to be honest. As I say to you, when I come back home, it's all about pay the suppliers, think about the menu for the next day, because the menu is changing pretty much every day. I guess the way I treat myself is either like play with my dog, which I absolutely adore. So whenever I got free time, it's all about him, really. So taking him for long walks, sometimes just being like next to each other and cuddle. You know, I just love a cuddle with him. And I used to cook to relax myself, but now it turns into my job. So probably the cuddle with the dog and a good book always help me to relax.
Oh, what kind of dog have you got?
I got a little Jack Russell meet a Chihuahua. So it's a crossing between the two, and it's absolutely adorable. He's a rescue dog. We got him through a charity called Wild at Heart. They help dogs from a place like Cyprus and Bosnia, where apparently there is a huge number of dogs on the streets. So they help them rehome them, find them a home, and make them travel. So this is it comes from Cyprus. It's been with us 6 months now, and it just made me the happiest person in the planet. It's full of love. It's a joy to be around. And so what I wanted to say, I'm trying I want just to say a bit more, because I just want to promote them, because what they do is extraordinary. They're really working hard to make sure that that those dogs have they're all gonna get the house they deserve. So we supporting them at Lelis. We donating 10p for each coffee we sell until Christmas, as a Christmas gift from us to the organization. And we also have some lovely calendars, like 2017 calendars, available at the cafe that people can buy, and the proceed goes entirely to the organization that rescued this dog. So yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Are you doing any Christmassy things in the cafe? English Christmas or Italian Christmas thing? I guess you have panettone. Is that it? Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. We have panettone around. We made some lovely hampers, because we have a little daily. So we have a cafe, but we also sell some really nice Italian delicatessen. So we have from chocolate to pasta to olive oil and panettone, of course. It's Christmas time, the panettone has to be panettone. So yeah, people can come and get all those nice little things. We also running a pop-up shop until for the whole month of December. I mean, it's nearly finished. It's the 15th today, really. But yeah, we're stocking independent designers and makers. And yeah, we have some lovely things from tea towels to screen printed t-shirt and pillows to ceramics, homemade, like handmade ceramic. So yeah, we put together this little gift shop with all those designers. They're all independent. They're pretty much the old people I know and I used to work with when at the gallery as well. And it's amazing to support them, because I don't know. Give you an example. One is called James Pegg, and he does amazing ceramic, all handmade, all unique. The nice things about James is that he has a full-time job, and in his spare time he's doing his ceramic with the hope and the wish that one day he is going to be able to turn that into a full-time job. And so the nice things about his ceramic is that it might produce 20 today and then don't produce anything for maybe 6 months, and they're always different. So you get to get something which is absolutely unique, and you get to help someone like James make his dream coming true and turn that into a profession. So I really think it's important to support, I'm all about supporting local business and independent designer and makers or cafe or restaurant, I think it's important, especially in the age we live in right now, where everything is mass produced, everything is like all about technology, and how can we remove that person, how can we remove people from the production chain, and just make everything automated. So it's nice to actually, bring back people into the production chain.
I love that you've just kind of dropped that in there, like, oh, and then we've also got a shop, like, and, as well as making an entire cafe from nothing, I've also made a shop as well. And that sounds brilliant. I love those kind of shops as well, like you say, that support people that are independent and aren't attached to any kind of massive corporation and are really local, and you're really helping them. And actually it's really nice for the customer as well, because I always look for shops like that have individual things that you can't get from anywhere else, and it sounds brilliant.
I think people like that side of things, because we got customers here and there. They're like, there was this lovely lady, she said to me, I love the idea that, I'm supporting those people through purchasing those items. I think people is missing that sense of giving and supporting other people, and as I say to you, like, everything gets so impersonal nowadays, that to know that there is a person behind something you buy, it makes you appreciate it more, the hard work that it goes into the making that object.
Definitely, and I think you're really onto something. And I'm interested in what you said about, in this age of technology where we're becoming more depersonalized, because I know, and we haven't mentioned this yet, but I know that you are interested in digital technology, and
I love it.
How do you reconcile that then with the individual real life, human touch?
Well, you see, it's a love and hate. Like, I'm a massive fan of sci-fi, perhaps, and I have this dream one day I'm going to write a novel, which probably never going to happen, but you never know with me. Like, I might have the guts to sit down and actually do it one day, we'll see. So I'm completely fascinated with technology. What I love about technology are mainly two things. The first one is making the impossible possible, and kind of surprise you, like, because if you think about few things that we can do nowadays that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago, it's amazing how technology make everything so changing so fast, and like it opened up thousand opportunity. Like, think about the internet. Now you got people chatting and meeting new people, and discover new places that they would never come across. But now they can go online and they can, they can chat with you through Skype, and maybe they're based in in Thailand, but they still can chat to you. Otherwise, they would never been able to. So that's fascinating to me. I love it. I don't really like sometimes how people is affected by technology, and how they let in some cases really taking over their life and make them forget what really matters, And then you have cases where people spending all the time on social media. You got family that they sit at the same table and don't share a single word because one is on a tablet, the other one is on on the iPhone. So I think that is a scary bit scary side of technology. But unfortunately, with progress is unstoppable, and with good things always come bad things, and you can't have it all. It can't just be good. It has to be bad as well, unfortunately. I guess the challenge for us and the younger generation is to always make sure we find a balance and make sure that we're fair and don't take advantage of the tools we have and misuse them. I think that's the biggest challenge. It's a big challenge for the youngest as well. Because, like people like myself, I don't think I'm going to see much more progress. I'm sure before I die, many things going to happen tech-wise. But I think probably within the next 100 years, that's when things are really going to look completely different from the reality we live in now. And I think the generation that will come, they really have a massive challenge. I feel kind of like lots of pressure for them,
What sort of things do you think might happen? Which are you banking on? Is it kind of virtual reality or
gaming? Gaming is going to be a massive evolution where people are just gonna play with a handset, and virtual reality. Porn as well, I will imagine, more and more porn, which is kind of like a three-dimensional, again, virtual reality within porn. And it's going to be fascinating to see how that is going to develop. Culture as well, education, I will imagine, the price is going to go down, those virtual reality kits is going to be less expensive, and probably more and more schools will be able to afford that, to a point that every school is going to have a virtual reality set, and people can learn, and teacher can teach through using those tools. The Internet of Things with our houses, I will imagine more and more people literally speaking on their. It's already there. It just is not for everyone, So I will imagine with the next 10 to 20 years, it will be just the normal, the normality, Call your phone and be like, switch on my heaters, and run a bath. It would be just normality within the next 10 to 20 years. And going forward, I think probably the next 50 years, I would not be surprised if we reach the point where people can pose themselves, let's say you're very sick and you just want to pose your body for maybe 10 years until there is a new cure out, and in that take comas and things like that. I see that coming. I also, another things that fascinate me as well is I'd be interested to see what people is going to develop on the dream side of things. When you go to sleep and you dream and I don't feel there is much developed yet about that, but I think there's a huge potential of what you can do with someone when they sleep. So I could see maybe kids, kit in the future that might allow you to actually decide what you're going to dream and decide what is going to happen, and it's kind of like helping you having a moment of relax and pleasure towards your sleep. I'm actually quite surprised that there is not much going on about that yet, because it's such an unexplored field. I'm sure that people will pay to have nice dreams, lots of people got problem sleeping, they have nightmares, or they just can get a nice night of rest,
I like that your vision of the future is quite optimistic generally as well. It's kind of like you, quite imaginative and quite positive. And
I want to think it's going to be good, because as I say to you, I could sit with you for ages and go through all the nasty thoughts that come to my mind on how technology can destroy us, like war and but not just like big things like let's have another global war, more like in the intimacy of your own house, like it scares me to think that I'm gonna have kids, and in 20 years' time, those kids might not talk to me because they're going to be so isolated that all they want to do is just communicate online, and they're gonna completely lose touch and focus with what is real. So that is very scary and very upsetting, and but I just want to think that that's not going to happen. As I said, I want to think that we're going to rise up to the challenge, and we're going to make sure that we use technology to our advantage, but we always strike a balance between the good and the bad. And that's my hope for the kids I don't have yet, and for all the other children and a new generation.
Do you think it's very different in Italy? I feel like it's probably the same everywhere, but just thinking about how Italians are probably one of the most sort of outgoing and socially skilled and sort of sociable nations, stereotypically at least. Do you feel like technology has been slower to catch on, or social technology has been slower, or have people really embraced it in the same way?
It's just a bit slower, and I think, as you said, probably is because we have this long tradition of doing things with our hands, being very artisanal. So like people. That's why all the fashion, big fashion in Italy as well, because when you buy a pair of shoes that are handmade with love, and it's not the same like something which is mass produced by a machine. So I think that probably this artisanal side of things, of us building and making things with our hands, it made us be a bit slow when it comes to embracing technology. But again, things are changing rapidly, because you got it's just the younger generation, all they know is technology. So obviously that is going to have a massive impact on the way they, in the way they communicate, in the way they think about life, in the way they decide to work. And I think it's up to us to make sure that we let them explore all the possibilities and keep teaching and passing through generation our tradition. Each country has its own tradition, his own costume, and I think it's very important that we don't forget the folkloristic side. Folk is so important for each culture. Let's not forget the heritage, that we all have. It's our duty we can't just expect youngsters to know about the past and to love and preserve the heritage if no one teach them to love and preserve the heritage. They need to be proud of that, but proud and pride is something that you teach. You don't born, it's not that you wake up and say, like, I'm a very proud Italian now. You're proud because someone taught you that, to love your country, to love your food. But why? Because maybe in my case, my grandmother and my mother sat with me and taught me how to make a cake, and then I'm a proud cake maker. So I think you do need to teach your tradition and pass that through the generation.
Well, on that note, I think we should wrap up, because I'm aware. I'm just looking at the time on the.
Wow, it'll be a long time. Yeah,
and knowing that it's probably your only day off, like in the next sort of 3 months. Then yes, I don't.
Oh gosh, no! Hey, in the next 3 months, no. Let me have a day off before that.
Maybe on Christmas, maybe an hour on Christmas Day. Are you cooking on Christmas?
No, I don't want to lift a fork.
Right, good.
Yeah, I can't see a chopping board or a knife. I just want to be served. I want to go somewhere and I just want to be served. Yeah, that's all I want to have for Christmas.
And that's it for this week. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. It was really lovely to catch up with Valentina. So thanks again for giving me the opportunity to chat to these people who I love chatting to. If you enjoyed this one, please give us a quick rating or review on iTunes. It really helps to get us profiled and that helps us to get sponsors and keep the show going. So if you get a second over the Christmas period, that would be a really nice Christmas present to Hack Circus from you, if you like. If you want to get in touch, we're at Hack Circus or at Hack Circus Podcast on most things. So it's at Hack Circus on Twitter, Hack Circus Podcast on Facebook, and Hack Circus on Instagram. We're also on Snapchat and IRC. And if you want to email me, it's editor@hackcircus.com. Thanks for all your support this year. Hope 2017 is fantastic for you, and I'll see you after Christmas.